Big Dog, 97.9. Let's begin.
We start with our first laugh. This is Phil Wang talking about being white and Chinese.
I'm Phil Wang, in case you didn't know. Here I am, Phil Wang, old Philly Wang Wang, here at last. I'm a mixed race fella, as the name Phil Wang might suggest. My father is a Chinese Malaysian, hence the Wang, and the rest of my body. But my mother is normal, so don't worry. White and Chinese, those are my races fundamentally. White and Chinese, Phil and Wang, white and Chinese. I'm the most powerful race on earth. I mean, people have tried to tell me that I'm a minority. I'm like, I'm both majorities. I'm white and Chinese. You can't touch me. I'm Pepsi and Coke. Hello, ni hao. I'm white and Chinese. I'm future-proof, baby. Completely future-proof. No matter what happens over the next 50 years, Wang or Phil is fine.
But the problem was there at the very end, at the time of 30 seconds, it has to stay in place for 2 seconds for it to be a legit record. The problem is it fell over as we hit 30 seconds. So the show record at this point looks like it's standing at a whopping number 1. You have one roll because it's the bottom and it didn't fall over.
Yeah. Well, I can beat that. I can best my own show record.
I think you can.
I think I did better than I thought. Thanks for all the support on Facebook, by the way.
Yes, and I do believe if you would have had like that 13, 14 number,
I could have kept it there.
That last one, I think, knocked you over because it would have held 2 seconds. If you wouldn't have tried that last one, I think you would have had, but unfortunately it fell over.
So Jason told me that got to take all that toilet paper home and practice makes perfect, become a trained professional.
Yes.
Which is good. I don't know that I want to get fired getting caught stealing the toilet paper out of here.
You're not stealing. You're practicing for the show.
Yeah, maybe he's right. And you know what? All these record breakers, what I'm noticing is I attempt these things and then I realize, dang, how much did they work on this to get to that number?
Right.
28 is a long way. It's like 9 foot of toilet paper. 15 would have been everything that I had today. But you're right. I need to just keep practicing.
Unfortunately, it did fall over, and we have a record of 1. We will put up a new Bobby Breaks Records question for you to vote on because it is all up to you which record he does try to break as we tried to get Bobby in the Guinness Book of World Records. That is on Friday. We'll have that at Chris Purple A's and Bobby Show on Facebook, which we highly recommend you follow because we put up videos and all sorts of questions and fun stuff.
Check out the video of my attempt at the toilet paper stacking world record as well. Chris Purple A's and Bobby Show on Facebook.
For the halibut.
Look at that.
Got one.
Got one. It's not a quiz. It's a joke. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We still celebrate when we get it. What am I saying? All right. Thank you, Jules.
About ketchup popsicles?
No.
Well, here you go.
Don't call me worthless. I'm trying my best. I'm not my dad.
That's right. You're not your dad. He could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves.
Ketchup popsicle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it only took about 25 years, but, we finally now have ketchup popsicles.
Ew.
Just in time for the summer heat to cool you off. You know, we're the second day into summer. The official, day of summer was yesterday.
And it's been 90-some around here for 2 weeks, so.
Right. Perfect cool-off summer food, right?
No, not right.
French's has partnered with a Canadian popsicle company to create the ketchup popsicle. It is called the French Sickle.
French sickle sounds like it would be way more fun.
That sounds like something completely different.
Ketchup popsicle.
It's described as perfectly savory with a hint of salty sweetness.
Yeah, well, okay, sure.
The bad news is you can only purchase them at pop-up locations in Canada, but I've got the recipe.
Oh, thank God.
That is right. You can make them at home. So we here in the United States will not get left out of the Canadian treat
Canadians are so weird.
And there's only 4 ingredients.
Ketchup. Obvious.
Very good.
A stick? Is the stick an ingredient?
3 1/4 cups of tomato juice.
Oh.
Half a cup of French's tomato ketchup. I think any ketchup probably does. 2 teaspoons of Frank's Red Hot Original Cayenne Pepper Sauce.
Okay.
Those are the 3 that are required. The optional is the Caesar Rim, which is, it's used in a lot of, like, drinks and stuff.
Okay.
It's like a little seasoning.
Yeah, I guess I'm not
like
familiar
a cocktail, like a Caesar cocktail or something.
Okay.
It's probably a Canadian type of deal.
Yeah, maybe.
A lot of people use it on their chicken and
okay. All right.
stuff. But
in this case, you can season your popsicle with it.
it's optional. So technically, you don't need it. But you can use your tomato juice, your tomato ketchup, and the cayenne pepper sauce from Frank's Red Hot. You mix it up, and you blend it well. You pour it into popsicle molds. Mm-hmm. You freeze for at least 8 hours or until solid. Serve frozen, or you can sprinkle on the Caesar Rim seasoning if desired.
It goes on after, huh?
Yeah. Voila. Done. Very simple to make your own ketchup popsicles. The kids will love it.
It's amazing the amount of stuff we have that no one asked for.
Tommy Boy did 25 years ago. On this morning, appreciate you listening. Apparently, there is a simple health test that you can do this morning as you're out and, getting around. No matter what you're doing, you could just stop and do this simple test. It only takes 10 seconds to do. Whether you're just getting out of the shower, you might not do it in the shower.
No, in the shower's bad place.
Bad place to do this, so get out of the shower.
You're listening to us in the shower. Awesome. Thanks, I guess.
But wherever you are, 10 seconds of your time, wherever you get to, you can take this simple test, and it will be a test for your health.
Not just your health, but really can help you determine how much time you have left.
That is right. No worries if you can't do this. You might die in a decade.
No worries. You just might be on the way to death.
Apparently, researchers have just published results. Now, this is older adults, but I think it could relate to anybody of any age.
I do too. Yeah.
They said they specifically studied older adults, but I think it could be a broad range. If you can't do this and you're younger, I think you should worry more even.
Yeah, maybe.
Can you stand on one leg for 10 seconds? Mm-hmm. Can you stand on one leg for 10 seconds without additional support? If you cannot, you're more likely to die within 10 years.
Bum, bum, bum. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now, again, do you get a little warm-up time? We make people do this at 7:10 in the morning. Good morning, wake up, roll out of bed, stand on one leg.
I don't know how standing on a leg for 10 seconds, one leg. See, I can do this, and it's not a big deal.
Do you have to Karate Kid crane it?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Why? Put your arms down. It's a little tougher.
No, it's not. Very simple. Very easy to do.
So you're good. You're not going to die anytime soon. I'm glad we did this, so I know whether I need to plan out anything, 5 years looking for another co-host.
I think this is just another one of those weird, odd. Try it. See what you get.
Stand on your good leg. Because I think we both discovered, we tried this before we went on the air. Left leg was a little harder for both of us for some odd reason.
Yeah, it's weird, though. But they say apparently it is, there was a lot of commonality between their test of that 10 seconds standing on one leg without support and where they ended up within the next 10 years.
I'm not saying I can't do it, but it feels like it's harder for me than I thought it would be. I might only have about 15 left. Maybe.
So there you go.
Nice little health test for you this morning.
We're just thinking of your health so you can stay with us a little longer.
Are y'all ready, kids?
Ha! What a dumbass.
Dumbass.
What the hell's your problem, you dumbass?
What a dumbass.
Great moment there, dumbass.
Well, this isn't the type of drive you normally associate with golf.
Okay.
A group of guys in Texas were getting ready to tee off on a course in Houston or near Houston last week when a Range Rover sped past them.
Oh, wow.
Followed by a cop car a few seconds later.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
It turns out some 20-year-old idiot was running from police and thought he could lose them while driving onto the golf course.
Yeah.
Golfers tried to help the cops by pointing in the right direction. They saw the Range Rover go. He went towards hole 7. The one of them got the whole thing on video. The guy in the Range Rover made it across the course, but then crashed in a nearby neighborhood. Police say that he had an assault rifle with him. Tried to ditch it after the crash. Then, while they were there, they arrested him. He spit on one of the cops.
Oh.
You can't spit on the cops.
Yeah. Well, you already done a bunch of dumb things. I mean, that's just adding on to it.
19-year-old kid in the passenger seat also got arrested later on. They found him at home in his parents' swimming pool.
Oh, so the passenger did make it out.
He bailed, got away.
And then he just went and took a swim.
I'm going to hang out in the swimming pool. He was arrested in his bathing suit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The driver's name, Gray Martinez.
Gray.
Yeah.
That's different. Okay.
It turns out he was supposed to be in court the same day for another high-speed chase that happened in December.
Oh.
So he's got,
a history of such things.
Now he's facing fresh new charges for spitting on a cop, evading arrest of a motor vehicle, which, by the way, is a felony.
Yeah. Yep. Gray will be wearing orange very soon, I imagine. Because he's a dumbass.
What a dumbass.
And I really can understand why. I mean, between the wild animal videos that we keep seeing, the droughts, or the excessive flooding like, in Montana, and monkeypox that's going around. I mean, the great outdoors can be anything but great.
I guess.
You'll see what I mean on my list today.
All right.
Top 6 things you never want to hear while exploring the great outdoors. Things you never want to hear while exploring the great outdoors.
Okay.
Number 6. The closer that animal gets, the less it looks like a dog.
Yeah, I guess so.
Number 5. Why am I hearing the theme for Deliverance?
You are in the wrong part of the country.
Yes. Number 4. Sorry to be a bother, but since you're the only person around, my testicle is really starting to swell up. Can you suck the poison from that snake bite out?
Sorry. You're dead.
You wouldn't do that, huh?
I would call an ambulance for you.
You're in the great outdoors.
Then
There
you're
is no
dead.
ambulance.
Then you are dead.
Let's see how it is.
I'm really sorry.
Sorry, you're just going to die.
I would want somebody to do it for me too, but I wouldn't expect it.
Number 3. Know how I said those leaves were okay to use as toilet paper? They're not. I was wrong.
You're going to start itching in a few minutes.
Number 2. Wow. I never saw a real-life Sasquatch before. And look how horny he is.
Yeah, well, it's likely that he hasn't seen anybody in a while.
Top 6 things you never want to hear while exploring the great outdoors. Number 1, grrr.
Back to the dog thing. Or the Sasquatch.
Yeah. Grrr. I guess more of that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
There's your top 6 list today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sporks. KFC introduced sporks, and now they've introduced something new.
Well, wait, was KFC really the inventor of the spork?
Yes.
We've talked about this before, I think.
Do we have a jungle outside our studios this
There's
morning?
a lot of noise coming from outside the studio, and I think Chris might be about to blow a gasket.
Holy crap.
I might need a rescue mission, y'all.
My blood pressure is going to
Back to sporks.
explode.
We have sporks thanks to KFC. Full-handled sporks, and now they've introduced something else.
Finger sporks. That is right. It is exactly what you think. You will look like Edward Scissorhands without the blades, but with little pink sporks on your fingers.
Yeah.
So you can...
Watching... Mostly for the sides. That nobody wanted to hear that noise on the way to work today.
You dip. You could dip in with all of them and...
What is this? You'll need to see this video. Big Dog 97.9 or Chris Beverly's Bobby Show on Facebook. Yes, the finger spork is now a thing. Like a finger puppet, just fits over about to the first knuckle right there. And they are coming with the side lovers meal, which I also didn't know existed.
I didn't either.
If you just really love the KFC mashed potatoes or whatnot.
That way you can use them on every item.
Only at participating locations through July 12th. We have no idea if they're here in town. If they are, Chris came up with a great idea earlier. I've been trying to break all these world records here the last 3 weeks. What if we set our own? The most something eaten with finger sporks in 30 seconds.
The most mashed potatoes eaten. We have our own.
Nothing like a good bowl of breakfast mashed potatoes that I could eat with a finger spork at 7 in the morning. Awesome.
I also think it's great, you know, our ancestors are probably spinning in the grave even more. We have fingers, but now we're going to add sporks onto the, you know.
No, this wouldn't have done it. I mean, if they're spinning in the grave, we've done far stupider things than this. Don't worry.
By the way, each order with the milk, you get 2. So you can put it on, you know, these 2 fingers, or you can have one on each index finger.
What about thumb? Can I make it like a pinch move?
I don't know.
If they'll fit on the thumb?
I don't know if they'll fit on the thumb. That's another question. What if you got fat fingers?
And the real question is, how long until somebody gets their wiener stuck in one of these things?
Chris Purple Hayes and Bobby. Big Dog 97.9.
Big Dog 97.9. Actor, director Ben Stiller with Zelensky, the president,
Ukrainian president
of Ukraine, on Monday. Don't have any more information than this, except for Stiller was visiting Ukraine and Poland. Apparently, Ben Stiller is the Goodwill Ambassador of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees.
Wow. Why Ben Stiller?
I don't know. I don't know how Ben Stiller gets to be the Goodwill Ambassador of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. That almost sounds made up.
It makes, it is made up, 100%. This position didn't exist until Ben Stiller said, how can I help? And they said, here, we'll make you this. But he is the Goodwill Commissioner. At first I thought, wouldn't we want to send somebody a little more action hero into there?
Right.
Into Ukraine? But no, this is the Goodwill. This is the funny guy.
You never saw him in Dodgeball, right? He's pretty.
No.
He surrounded
himself.
He's a badass.
No, he wasn't. He hired guys like Blazer and Laser to be the badasses.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
What a strange role. No, when I think Ben Stiller, he's the guy that got the beans above the frank and something about Mary.
Yes.
That's why they're like, this guy's not threatening. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He says things like you can milk anything with nipples.
Right.
And somehow that helps refugees, and I'm really not sure how.
I don't know how we got into that. I did not know he was that politically I did not realize that, I guess. But apparently he's helping in some shape or fashion.
Doing more than just tweeting, which is what a lot of celebrities and, well, frankly, all of us do. So good for him.
Yes, good on Ben for not sitting in Hollywood with all the answers. He's actually attempting, apparently, to try to do something.
That's cool.
So awesome.
Glad we could make up a job for you, Ben.
Right now, it is Rich Glitter.
This is not headline news. The Duck Dynasty guys have a new show where they go treasure hunting. Don't get too excited. They just pick through each other's beards for loose change and old sesame seeds. The director of Elvis says he has a 4-hour version. That version includes all the scenes where middle-aged Elvis eats. 2% of Americans have never been to a dentist. There's even a name for them, West Virginians. And Meryl Streep turned 73 today. She'll be awarded another Oscar for acting surprised at her birthday party tonight. This is not headline news.
Big Dog 97.9. Apparently a new Netflix show is coming, and they're not pulling punches. They're calling it Snowflake Mountain. And it's not for the snow. It's for the flakes.
Yeah.
Snowflake, of course, is someone who's defined as overly emotional, easily offended, and dramatic, which I sometimes feel like is almost everybody nowadays.
What are you trying to say?
10
wait a minute.
10 Gen Zers, as they're calling it, are going to be thrown into the wilderness. Here's a little clip.
Snowflake, a young person who's considered overly emotional, easily offended,
You guys, this is not okay.
and dramatic.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life.
There's a heap of young adults who can't even unload a dishwasher, let alone hold down a job. And these 10 snowflakes...
and they're going to throw them in a mountain.
And by the way, these aren't just idiots that signed up for this, but just to let you know.
Yes.
These are adults that still live with their parents and act like this, and the parents have said, I've had enough. So instead of taking them on to Dr. Phil, they've done this. And I like this approach.
Kidults.
Yeah.
Kidults. They're still kids. They're adults, but they still act like kids and are treated like kids. And this is their parents' way of trying to get them to grow up finally.
Yeah.
And they might win $50,000.
See, that they shouldn't win that. They shouldn't win any money.
The parents should get that.
Yeah. Here's $50,000. It's like punitive damages.
They thought they were going to a luxury resort to party and be taken care of. And instead, they're dropped in the wilderness with these two dudes that are going to teach them how to live off the land.
I like the idea of this a lot.
Yeah. One of them even said that she's afraid she's going to get a wussy rash.
I mean, having a rash on your wussy sounds like it'd be a bad place to get one.
Because she's in the wilderness.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you could.
Yeah.
She very well could.
But, yeah, they're going to learn survival skills and try to keep that from happening.
Yeah. That way they can go back home to Santa Barbara and never use those again. But maybe they'll get out of their parents' house. That's the end game here.
It might be one of those train wreck things that might be entertaining to watch, but I'm not for sure because of how dramatic they are.
No.
That might annoy me enough.
That'll help me, I think. I hate that stuff usually, but I'll be rooting so hard for them to get bug bites and wussy rashes that I'll like this show, I think.
Are y'all ready, kids?
Ha! What a dumbass.
Dumbass.
What the hell's your problem, you dumbass?
What a dumbass.
Great moment there, dumbass.
So a clip is going viral on TikTok of an outdoor wedding being ruined by a neighbor. We had this topic a while back, and it was about a party, and we defended the person that continued to mow during the party. But I'm thinking, you're hanging out in the backyard with a bunch of people, and you're being loud anyway because you're playing cornhole and you're drinking beer and you're barbecuing or swimming in the pool.
I didn't see a big problem with that.
Right. I think you're perfectly fine, especially because they didn't invite you. So tough. Now, this neighbor decided to mow and weed whack her lawn during the ceremony of a wedding.
Oh.
That was in the backyard. Matter of fact, here is a clip of how the vows sounded.
Your loving and faithful husband, in plenty and in love.
It sounds like the vows with a swarm of mosquitoes.
Yes.
But, I mean, I'm sure it sounded loud. That's just a video. It probably sounded louder than that in person.
Yeah, I defended the mower at a party, but at a wedding, you should be able to take like at least an hour or two, wait till they do their vows and other stuff, unless you just, don't get along, I guess. But
that would be my guess. She's spiteful. Maybe she's divorced.
Well, they called her a Karen.
Well, I would say that's probably accurate. I don't know.
But I think during the wedding, you have to wait at least until the vows are over.
Yeah.
Being a good neighbor.
That should only last a few minutes. By the way, if your wedding vows last more than just, like 15, 20 minutes, you're screwing it up. Don't be that person. But also, if you are mowing during somebody's vows, blatantly, you're a dumbass.
What a dumbass!
Big Dog, 97.9 point of the show. We find out what we learned on the show today. Bobby, what did you learn?
Finger sporks exist thanks to KFC. You reminded me KFC are the reason we have sporks in the first place, and now they've shortened those off. It's the joy of eating with a spork without the troubling handle. You just slip it right over the end of your finger. One of those things nobody asked for, but here it is.
Yeah.
Comes with one of their meals, by the way, like the sides meal or something like that. For you weirdos that don't want the chicken. Who goes to KFC for not the chicken?
I know some people that would go there for not the chicken.
Yeah?
They would eat the chicken, but
the reason they go is something else.
Is for something else.
Really? Okay.
They're mashed potatoes and gravy.
That gravy is not duplicated by anyone else that I know. I will say that. What did you learn today?
I learned today that Ben Stiller is a goodwill ambassador because of all the refugees, but he's a goodwill ambassador of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees.
Well,
if they made the title any longer.
Yes. The answer is always yes.
He's the GAOTUNHCOR.
Oh, hold on. GOA.
Does it spell anything?
He's the goat something. GOAT what?
GAOTUNHCFR.
Yeah, he's the Gaton.
The goat.
It's a really important job.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Congrats to Ben for getting out there and doing something. Let's share one more laugh.
Dusty Slay on wearing NASCAR T-shirts.
I did wear a lot of NASCAR T-shirts growing up. There's nothing wrong with wearing a NASCAR T-shirt, but I wore so many NASCAR T-shirts that anytime I had to dress nice, my mom would just put me in my newest NASCAR T-shirt. I'd be like, this ain't that nice. She's like, I know. Tuck it in. Right, because that changes everything, right? You go from working on the car to church just by tucking it in. My dad still does that. He tucks his shirts in tight, too. Real tight. He make a V-neck out of a turtleneck, you know what I mean? Got T-shirt coming out the bottom of his jeans. Seeing chest hair through the shirt. My dad's a big University of Alabama fan, right? And he tucks his shirts in so tight, all you see is university. Like he's just for college.